Welcome, Heroes for Hire Comic Club. This is just a hangout. It's getting ready to snow 5 inches. There's ice on the road, and I'm not going anywhere, and I'm bored. Stream. So here we go.
And all the girlies say I'm pretty fly for a white girl.
All right. So Glenn, thank you for coming by. I just did an unboxing video. I had more boxes than I had to. So all my packages are delayed until next week, it looks like. What's up, Flat Earth?
I'm watching you. I'm making sure and getting my list updated for next not Halloween but Christmas. I'm watching you.
You got your eyes on me, huh?
What's going
Looking
on?
out. Oh, we got another guest here. Here's my friend Robert, cheap comic collector.
Hi guys.
I watched your video today.
I'm a little late.
I watched another of your videos today. More good stuff. I really like that crypto Superman. Is that one going to be for sale?
The one with the dog face.
Yeah, the one where it's like
crypto front and center. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's in the sale.
Good. How are you doing today?
Doing pretty good actually. I'm happy to have some time to come on. I've been in the studio so much lately working on stuff that I haven't been doing hardly anything.
I went out yesterday and found out the AI thing on StreamYard lets you do shorts. It'll create shorts. So I dropped like 30 shorts yesterday at the same time.
Wow.
Oh, Sleepy Reader 666. Hello, sir. Yeah, I don't know. It's this is the. I bet I should have put this. I just typed community hangout, but I should have put it's 20 degrees outside. We got 6 inches of snow coming. I ain't going nowhere, and I'm bored. So, actually, interesting. Glenn's going to be on your neck of the woods here soon. He's going to MegaCon.
Yep.
MegaCon. Yeah, that's coming up, isn't it?
Yeah, February 6th.
I just had a kitty cat come see me. You want to see my kitty?
Sure.
Kitty.
Yeah.
His name's Tommy, but I call him Thomas Magnum. Thomas Magnum. All right. Well, there you go. He just made his well, that's not his debut. I think he was on Aaron's show one night. Debut on my show, on my channel, I guess you could say. Well,
he's a star.
Yeah, a star is born. Well, I don't know. I felt like there might be a lot of people maybe snowed in, so they might want to hang out. So
yeah,
we're just hanging out, and I'll show you what I got. I mean, I did a mail call video, so if y'all, I'm going to show you what I got, but please watch my video. I need all the views I can get. That's why I put all those shorts. But so I just got some newer comics today. Here, check out this one out, Rob. It's Captain America 111 homage.
Oh, that's sweet cover.
Yeah, Sam Wilson instead of Cap. And this is the new Guardians of the Galaxy. Is going to be the new Ultimate Guardians, you know. Okay. And we got this one's kind of fun series. And Red Coat. Geiger. And it wouldn't be mail call for me unless I had a G.I. Joe of some sort in there. So I got the Larry Hama. This is not to be confused with the Skybound G.I. Joe. This is the Real American Hero G.I. Joe. The other one's just called G.I. Joe.
Right.
And, so they let Larry Hama. He's continuing his. I don't think has anybody else ever wrote G.I. Joe for a very extended period of time except for him, Glenn.
Not that I can think of.
I can't think of anybody.
He did it through. Yeah, he did it through Image. He did it through IDW.
Been there. He's just all over the place. Oh, and well, I got some new stuff going back in the claim sale. I don't know when I'm going to have it, but it's not new. But like, due to unforeseen circumstances, somebody that claimed these can't pay for them. So he told me to put them back in the sale. So his loss is everybody else's gain. So we got this Thor 3 350 Mighty Thor with Beta Ray Bill. We got some Joe Coover. I don't know. One of these I'm keeping now, though, under further review, and I'll show you. You'll know which one it is when you see it. Of these Joe Coovers. There's another.
I've done that with books people that haven't paid for too. It's like you go through them and like, well, no, I'm going to keep this one.
This one right here. Look, this one right here. Yeah, I mean, I thought, you know what? That's too cool to get rid of. So
yeah, that's a nice cover.
That's going in the me pile. And then these are my doubles I had of G.I. Joe. I sold them. They were kind of a lower grade ones. These a couple of them were, but this one's a high grade. And this is the first appearance of Zorana. I think it's a cameo, but it's about a $10 book, I think, in high grade. I just go on last sold because I really don't have an Overstreet, but I don't think they were as accurate as like what people are actually paying for something. G.I. Joe, the first appearance of the Centaur. More G.I. Joe, and I got some cool older ones here. I can't reach the one. Let's see if I can reach it. All right, here it is. This is a Richard Corbin book. It's like a oversized book. It's like Tales of the Black Plague. It's a wraparound cover. It's more of an illustrated book, though. And then Andromeda. This is like an old school. Here, I'm gonna get this one out and show you. There's Brian Barrett. Hey, Brian, how you doing, sir? This is like, I guess some of these books were not even sold in like regular like comic shops usually. They were sold in like head shops. Andromeda, look at the Arthur C. Clarke story. So look at the back cover. It's all in black and white. See, but it's pretty cool art. Look at this. I don't know how they did the kind of neat.
Yeah, I love the black and white stuff.
I do too. Got this Authority. It's a big, I guess it's a trade paperback from Grant Morrison. And this one right here, we actually looked this up last night with Glenn. It's a Canadian comic. Was it in Vancouver?
Vancouver, yeah.
Vancouver Stamp Art Comics. It was like an anthology they would bring out every year. How about we open it up and look at it? Oh, I'm curious. I don't think I ever opened this one. This was another one of my, and Robert will know, and well, both of you will know, but Robert's got a lot of his books. This is one of my uncle's books. Maybe I should keep it. Let's see. It's all black and white. Okay, we got, like, look at this in the back. There's like a monster. They're watching TV.
Oh, it's cool.
So
it's just things you don't see as much with color, but the black and white, the shadowing, the texturing, just makes it so awesome.
Yeah, it's just really cool. It looks like I don't know that it's worth much, but it's still pretty neat. And like, let's see if we can find some more art in here. It looks like we got some macabre kind of stories in here. Look at this. Look at all this detail here in this black and white art. Like you can see it like wild, man. That had to take a long time to draw.
Yep.
So got that one. The cat's is mad at mom because she won't let him outside. But it's too cold for a kitty cat to be outside right now. We got some Defenders. And I guess that's about it. We had a couple of Marvel Comics presents. Anyway, so that'll go back out on the next sale. Conan. Except for the GI Combat with the skull on it, the Grim Reaper on it. So, all right. If anybody wants to show any books they just picked up, you can. We're just hanging out. I don't know. I do have something to show here in a minute that's kind of hilarious. Let me bring up eBay. You got to see this. People are going crazy for crypto. Not the currency, but the dog. The super dog. We might as well just if I get eBay to come up here. Here we go. Superman 680. Yep, that's it.
I'm trying to think of any crypto covers.
I'm not trying to call anybody out that's trying to. And I'm not trying to like, more power to anybody trying to, but I'm not really trying to call out like a seller. I'm not trying to like point out anybody or whatever or single out someone. But I mean, I think it's getting a little bit out of hand. I think you think it has something to do with maybe because the actual first appearance of crypto is kind of expensive, maybe, and everybody's looking for other options. But look here, this Alex Ross cover, and I gotta imagine, I don't think this book was going for this much before. But that's not even these right here. Don't even. This is not even. Look at this one. $50, and I think you can see people writing here. One of them wrote on here like James Gunn. $60, $64. Crypto dogs. Okay. Another one. $79. This one's got one bid with 6 days left. It's already $34. This one's got 8 hours left at 43, but still, this one's got 2 days left. And look at the bids on it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And a month ago, these were dollar books.
Yeah, and there was a group of people that like crypto and like crypto covers, but I think I've only got one, and the only one I can think of it's the test, or not the test tube, but the tubes were crypto and Superman, and I can't remember who else are in they're in like 3 tubes in the background, and I can't remember who's in the foreground. I think that's the only one I've got.
I got one, but I think somebody claimed it. It's got Supergirl like flying through space or something. Her and crypto. I think I got it from Aaron. Hey, Locke, what's up, man? If anybody wants to come on, we're just hanging out and chilling. Like, I don't know. I don't have anything to do. And there's Wellbore. Hey, buddy.
Yeah.
I got some books in a couple days ago. I can show if you want me to.
All right, let me move you up here to the top spot. Might as well show some books. Wait a minute, it looks all weird. Oh no, okay. You're on the side of the screen there. It looked like your screen was. I don't know. I'm losing my mind.
You move my camera. That'll be better.
There you go. You're centered. My OCD was kicking in on you, Robert.
Yeah, I know. A lot of times when I'm on somebody's channel, it's like I'm off center a little bit. I don't know why. I just need to adjust my camera, and I don't. I got in Batman 379.
Oh,
and I'm getting that glare that I get this time of day because I'm not usually on this time of day. I got some Power Man and Iron Fist in, so you should like these.
Oh, I love that cover.
Nice.
Yeah, 104.
That's a very cool cover. Oh, I like that one.
107.
They had some good covers on those Iron Man and Power Fist. Power Man and Iron Fist. Sorry.
108. I'd buy a book called Power Fist and Iron Man.
Yeah.
109.
Yeah, that sounds pretty cool. Maybe I'll have to write one.
110. 113. 114. 97. Not familiar with that character. Says its name. Her name is Farah. F-E-R-A.
Might have been their first and last appearance. You know how it was sometimes back in the old day. Still like that nowadays.
98.
That one's interesting. Thought they were being electrocuted.
94.
Oh, that one's cool. I always thought they were a good pair together.
96.
That one's cool.
I've always found them much more interesting together than apart.
Me too.
Number 74. This one's cool. 52.
I like that one. Power Man showing off his power.
And 38. Got a Nova 14.
They're getting ready to make a series out of the Nova.
$63. $62. Looks like that one's got a whole lot of characters in it, including Power Man and Iron Fist.
Can we type claim in the chat on anything?
Nova number 13.
Cool.
And there's 2 copies here. They taped them together for some reason. Justice Machine Annual number 1. Wraparound. I guess it's not a wraparound. It's just got a separate cover on the back.
Oh, okay. That's cool. I like the back cover.
Classic X-Men 21.
Nice.
Nice Art Adams.
Yeah, that's Art Adams. Yeah.
22.
They had some great. I thought they had some great artwork for those classic X-Men. And I think they're pretty highly collectible just because of the back covers and the front. Well, the front too.
This is Codename Danger number 2. They had it in the bag that the comic bags come in. Zot number 8.
Zot. Is that Eclipse? They had some unique stuff at Eclipse Comics.
Axel Press Button number 2.
All right, we got some loud talkers in the background.
And number 1. Scorpio Rose number 1. And number 2. And then they had a couple of Marvel graphic novels. The Raven Banner, A Tale of Asgard.
Huh.
Which I'm not at all familiar with. But
I like the artwork on it.
Yeah, the art looks pretty cool in it. So
I wanted to get some of these like 80s, like some of their first graphic novels. Like there's a Daredevil one that Frank Miller did. I want to get.
Yeah, and then they had number 13, Starstruck, which is also different. Some of it looks like it might be computer generated somewhat, but the way it looked back then, you know.
Yeah.
And then they had some of these comics review magazines that reprint comic strips.
Oh, neat.
So these I picked these up. They were cool. They just reprint in black and white a bunch of different comic strip series. There's Latigo, Popeye, Flash Gordon, Amazing Spider-Man, Bloom County, Steve Canyon, Agent Corrigan, Hagar the Horrible. So just a real mix of stuff. I think each one does 4 or 5 pages of the different strips. And this is the Latigo on the cover.
They got any Will Eisner strips in there and stuff like that?
No. Not in these.
No, this is probably licensed to his own.
Yeah, these had some like insect damage or something on the bottom on the backs that I didn't know about, unfortunately, but that's okay. They're just going in my collection anyway, so. And that was that. That's what I got in this week.
Awesome.
I have a really large order in with Hip Comics. I bought like over 500 comics on Christmas in an auction that somebody was having on there, and I broke this. I guess I ordered too many and broke the website. I don't know. When it went to invoice me, it didn't bundle all my purchases from the same auction. So it was like hundreds and hundreds of dollars more than what it should have been.
Oh man!
And so it took them a while to get that worked out. I finally got a shipping notice a couple days ago, but I just checked a little while ago, and they still haven't shipped yet. They've just printed the labels, so it's like, all right.
It's a little slow moving. The wheels are
Plus,
moving
apparently,
slow.
they're shipping them all in the same box because shipping ended up being much more than I expected it to be. Unfortunately, some of the bigger companies haven't learned that if you ship 2 or 3 smaller boxes, it's actually less expensive than it is to send one big box. But
that's what I did with.
Anyway.
I did a trade with Ian and Becca. They claimed some stuff, and then they wanted some other stuff, and we're gonna trade. But I had to end up. It was cheaper to send it in 2 different boxes at the same time.
Yep.
So,
I actually end up doing that quite a bit because I just let people build up their piles, and then sometimes it gets a little bit too big, and I've got to either hold one package back for the next order, next shipment, or ship in 2 boxes. So
doing flat rate, like a medium flat rate, doesn't work.
It's actually more expensive to do flat rate than it is to
do like priority.
It's not priority. It's what do they call it?
ground. They call it something ground.
Some kind of ground, yeah.
Okay.
But the flat rate is actually more expensive. Than if you use a discount shipping program. If you just send it, if I took it to the post office, flat rate would be the cheapest way to go.
Okay, gotcha.
But because we go
through pirate ship or whatever,
through like pirate ship, there. I mean, sometimes it's a big difference.
Yeah.
I mean, there's almost at least a $10 savings on every single box.
Huh.
If you can't, priorities usually not the best deal on pirate ship.
Yeah, I haven't tried to do priority. It's just for what I charge. There's no way. But
I'm just trying to figure it out for that for the tool for IG or whatever.
Yeah.
To figure out the best way based on. I'm trying to do it based on weight. I don't know if it's better to do it by count, like how many comics or whatever. Like, let's say they get 20 something comics. Where would be like a threshold, whether to go 2 or whether to go flat rate or whether to go. That's kind of what I'm just trying to figure out.
Right. Yeah. I mean, if they're not using a discount shipper, to do it, then flat rate would, I would assume, be the way to go. But
oh no, I was going to use Pirate Ship's their parent company.
Okay.
Because they've got an API, I was going to build it into the tool.
Yeah, he said build a tool for to make it easier for people to sell, like on Instagram and places.
Yeah.
Okay. A pirate ship is. Hold on, let me bring it up. I will tell you the name of.
Okay.
Are you losing your connection there, Matt? You keep going black every once in a while.
I'm switching screens.
Oh.
I think that's what it is. Is it still going black now? Let me see. Let me try switching again and see what it does. Let me know if it does it when I do this. Did it do it?
Nope. Now it did it.
We might be.
Now.
I mean, we got an ice storm. Okay, when I switch back, that's when it does it. All right.
Oh, okay.
It's okay. Hopefully the internet.
Grounded. Yeah, grounded vintage is what it's called.
Okay.
That's it. Yeah, grounded vantage.
Yeah, and the nice thing about that is once you print the labels out, then you can just schedule it on the post office site where your mailman will just pick up your packages. You don't have to take them to the post office. You don't have to, mess with any of that. So
right. The question comes down to what box size can you use?
Well, the one thing I know I've discovered is the dimension size really can cost you.
Yeah, dimension and weight. They ask you the dimension.
Okay.
Dimensions each time you do it. And it also makes a difference on how far you're sending it.
Yeah.
Like costs quite a bit more to send the books to California than it does to, New York or something. So,
oh, of course. I just meant for like get an. I don't mean a like a flat rate average, but what I'm trying to do is say, okay, well, is it best to do it like, let's say they get 15 books. What's the best and cheapest cost? I mean, I can pull it up and have, the seller choose what they want or whatever.
Right.
But
the problem with that is unless everybody's using a standardized box, it's going to change.
Yeah, well, that's what I was figuring. Most people would be using the flat rate, either the small flat rate boxes or the priority type boxes, because you get them free, right?
Right.
Yeah, but now see on Whatnot, I believe they have a deal with the USPS to get like the 835 flat rate, because if you try to do a flat rate when we do it, I know Robert can probably tell you this too. It's not going to be like 835. It's going to be like $16.
Yeah, I think on with the few times I have used it on Pirate Ship, it was like 14 something. I think.
One of the cows says he thought Ground Advantage eliminated all other shipping formats, other than priority, of course. I don't know. There's a media mail, but they tell you not to. I've been told not to ship comic books in media mail. For some reason, they say they don't like that. But I don't know how they would know you're sending a comic book unless you told them.
They open them up and look.
I guess
They're like, I need this one.
Yeah. Yeah. I haven't actually run into that, but I have heard stories of people like opening them up and being like, no, you can't do that.
I will tell you this. I sent something to Aaron, Psychotronic Squirt Gun, one time. And I had a priority box, but I messed up and printed the label out, Ground Advantage. So me and Mom were like, well, we'll just put some brown wrapping paper over it and then put the label on it. Well, there was a tear between here and Washington State. There was a tear in it. I don't know if they did it on purpose or what, but they found out there was a priority box under it. They charged him $25 to pick it up at the post office box.
Oh, Jesus.
So I had to, I had to spend money for it. So I lost money on that whole deal.
Yeah. I would say they ripped it to see because they knew it was the size.
Yeah,
be my guess. They knew it was the size of their box, and they were like, "Oh, this is probably somebody's just trying to send it cheaper," and they probably opened it and looked.
Yep, not surprised. Well, I mean, like the thing is, it's tough when you start out selling. Like, we have a friend, he just sent us a message. We had Robert in our group chat, one of our YT acquaintances and friends, and he was going to like offer some free shipping, but like it ended up like breaking even basically, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And it can happen. It's happened to me before.
Oh, easily.
Yeah.
Yeah. If all the books I got were $1 and I was selling them at $2, I wouldn't be doing this for very long.
Yeah.
Yeah. The ones that I can get for 25 cents and 30 cents then I make a little bit, but
It's just the way it goes
shipping's
sometimes.
just crazy. Like everything else, it's just prices have gone crazy
on everything. It's just insane here lately. I broke my box cutter. You know how they got it's a little cheap made in China box cutter. It kind of flips open.
Yep.
And you know how they got the little button you can push on the side to close it and open it.
Yep.
It'll lock into place. Well, it's locked into place. It's warped or something. It's completely locked into place now. So. I can't get it to. It's like on the other side of where it should be. So it's going to have to stay open, I guess. I have to put it face down in the my little cup over there. But I got a cool knife for my I just don't want to use my pocket knife for it because it dulls the knife when you cut tape with it, but it's like a little Swiss Army thing. My dad got it for me.
right?
So it's pretty
Is
cool.
that the razor blade the kind you can open to replace the blades?
Yeah.
So you open it up, you can probably fix whatever stuck there.
That's true. I could take it out. I just don't want to cut my hand off with it in there. Yeah, at the front, it's got like a little button up here to it, like you can lift it up and pull the razor blade out. I'm not going to do it right now, but
don't hurt yourself.
Yeah. Well, I took the razor out. But you got to watch these razor blades. I used to work at a grocery store when I was younger, and I sliced my damn thumb wide open on one of them. But so what's everybody been doing? Glenn, what you been up to?
Did a little work for a client this morning. Did a review after just because I don't do the day-to-day stuff anymore for the review of stuff. That's why I have employees for. They do it, then they send it to me, and then I kind of review it before it goes off to the clients for the final. The only thing I still do is if it's I'm the only one in our company that has the DoD standard. So certain clients that I have, a person has to be on site for DoD standards when a new machine gets put in. So I actually have to be on site just to oversee it. But other than that, that's about it.
Cool. Well, I don't know. I've been on a. This is not obviously not work related. I don't have a job, but so I've been on a martial arts movie kick here lately. So I've watched 5 Sonny Chiba movies since this morning. So and it's actually really enjoyable. I love it. I forgot how much I like them, and but I don't know. It's just a fun thing. I get interested in stuff, and like now it's making me want to go back and get Deadly Hands of Kung Fu or like the. Remember the magazines, Robert? What were they called? The 70s. They had the magazines before they had the Master of Kung Fu. Was it called Deadly Hands of Kung Fu? Was that the?
Yeah, I think so.
Called? Yeah. So I've been looking at some of those online, and some of them are rather expensive because they had one that was like the first appearance of Iron Fist is in it, and they wanted like $150 for it. So I don't know, but they had some that had like Bruce Lee on the cover. So I'm kind of getting into that again. And oh, hey Glenn, show him that Hulk magazine proof you won.
Oh yeah. Hold on.
This is an interesting piece of comic book history, if you ask me.
Yeah, let me pull it out.
Okay, Kerry, I understand, man.
Yeah. So it's the proof. It's got the color swatches or whatever, and it's uncut. Yeah. So I'm gonna get that framed and put up because I really like this cover. This is a cool cover.
Yeah, that's cool.
I believe didn't Easy Comic Reader had some of those, didn't he, Robert? I think he showed one night.
The magazines, yeah, I think so.
Yeah, there aren't they. Most of those are like the Rampaging Hulk and stuff like that.
Yeah, it changed title for a little bit. I think it was Hulk and then Rampaging Hulk, or vice versa.
And I really like those magazines back in the day. Like they had the Howard the Duck and Savage Sword of Conan and the Hulk magazine, like the
they had a really nice little line of black and white magazines going. That were cool.
They had the Hands of Kung Fu. Yep. Do you see what I got, Robert, the other day? My friend Austin LeMay found out I didn't have Spawn #1, and he sent me one. But not only did he send me one, but he sent me one signed by.
Oh, sweet.
The man himself. So
yeah.
I'm going to get this graded. I think I'll get that because it's get it verified or whatever they call it. Authentication. That's what they call it.
Yeah, the JSA.
Here, I'll show you some other stuff here if I get this. Well, Glenn's already seen it. I'll probably be boring him to death, but he'll be all right.
I'm okay.
He's cool.
Yeah, it's my day's over. So
all right. Like I was talking about, I did a trade with Ian and Becca. And they threw in some stuff for us. A surprise I wasn't even expecting. I don't remember. Basically, it was just some other stuff like this, is like that controversial Detective Comics they did back in the day. And they even threw in an Uncle Scrooge, a 15-cent Uncle Scrooge. So that's pretty neat. I like Uncle Scrooge. I think everybody likes Uncle Scrooge. I hope. If they don't, they're a communist, right? What else do we have here? Oh yeah, here we go. You know how I love the movie Big Trouble in Little China. So they had these from Boom Studios. I really wasn't familiar with them until he mentioned. He said, "I found these for you if you want them." And there's a low print run. And it's co-written by John Carpenter. Big Trouble in Little China, the series. It picks up right where the movie left off.
Cool.
And I got 2 through 6 of them. And then there's another series that came with it.
Yeah, those are cool covers.
Yeah. I like this one. It's got the 3 storms at the bottom.
Yeah.
This one's cool. With low pan. And this is a variant. I don't know if it's a variant or another. That's low pan. They got this low pan. And then, hold on. Then there was another series that was like, I guess, what if Kurt Russell character, what would he be doing when he's older? And it's called, instead of Old Man Logan, it's called Old Man Jack. And these are low print run. I looked them up. And I guess it's like, what if
I've had a couple of those come through, and I didn't realize what they were, I guess.
This next one coming up is a cool cover.
Yeah, that's neat.
That one's kind of cool. And then that one, there's a bunch of them. That one's like, I guess those action figure variants are kind of hot sometimes. Some people, I don't really care for them. Like, I'm like you. One day I was in a stream. I think you'd made a mistake too. I bet everyone thought it was an action figure.
Yeah, that's what I did.
My eyes were just like playing tricks on me.
I did that on Cindy's show.
Yeah, I was like, hell yeah, $2 for that? I'll take it. I believe it was like a Star Wars figure. I was like, are they really selling a Star Wars figure for $2? So, shame on me. Then they also sent me this, the Swamp Thing, which is a very cool cover. I think this is like right after Constantine's in it. I looked through it. So it must be like during the Justice League Dark period, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And then we got a Giordano Wonder Woman.
Nice.
40 center.
Great cover too.
And then I don't know, maybe you guys can help me. I'm not familiar with this series. Somebody told me it was like a little mini series from DC. It's called The Man Called Axe.
Yeah, I've had a couple of those, but I haven't taken the time to read it. I don't know what it's about either.
I might check it out. And then I got these. They sent Star Wars my way. I guess it's a random Star Wars. Got Princess Leia on it.
Cool.
And a JSA #1.
Nice.
And
cool cover.
I've never heard of this one. It looks interesting. He looks like Hunter S. Thompson here on the cover, or Bruce Campbell. Does he not look like Bruce Campbell?
Yeah, a little bit.
Look like Bruce Campbell. And Mom's in there talking politics. Watch out.
Uh-oh.
I get it. I don't get involved in that. This one's called The Gray Area.
Is she doing covers yet?
Huh?
Is she doing covers yet?
No, she's got some more ornaments to do. And then I'm trying to get her to do a couple for as an example. So I'm trying to help her out, because I think that if people really got to see her art, they would really want her to do something.
Well, I have this one problem, Robert. I won't start a new project till I get the present one done that I'm working on.
That makes sense.
I promised my son I will do that, but I have to fulfill what I've already been commissioned to do.
I got 2 blanks. Where did he go?
He's got 2 ready to go. He just showed them.
Oh, okay. All right.
I got a couple I want to do too. I'm trying to get a Justice. Huh? I'm trying to get her to do get a Justice League blank and get her to do that one. I want to get one of the Super Pets playing poker like the dog's playing poker painting. I thought it would be a cool one. I think I told you got one before though. And then I got this one. It's like the that mini series they had. I think it was a couple of months ago, called The Shadow of the Green Goblin, Amazing Spider-Man, Shadow of the Green Goblin. Well, I got a green blank, and I want her to do it House of Mystery 92 style.
Oh, but yeah, you showed me that one. Yeah.
Yeah. Instead of like the way it was with Swamp Thing, have Gwen Stacy looking in the mirror at the dresser and Green Goblin behind her. So, hey, Kirby, how you doing, man?
Good, yourself? I figured I'd jump on for a little while at least.
Well, I'm just doing the snowing outside, cold as hell stream, and I'm bored.
Yeah, it's good. It's good to see one once in a while in the afternoon instead of just the late night ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I can't do all those 10 o'clock ones anymore. It's really taking a toll on me. Although we still stay up talk midnight, me and Glenn and some of the guys. We probably don't get enough sleep, I say, but
and it doesn't help that half the people are in other countries, so you're up when they're awake. We're usually asleep. Not anymore.
But you're right, Kirby.
Well, I just thought we'd go for a couple hours, and I know I think Sandman's got a. I don't know what time it was. 3 o'clock,
just over an hour.
Yeah.
But Kirby's right when he said about the Tick magazines. Yeah, they were magazine size.
Oh, I didn't catch that one. All right,
yeah.
I got a few of those.
I'm trying to get every printing of #1. Trying. It's hard because some of those are impossible to find.
Yeah, they definitely jumped in price too. It's like I came across today. I seen that they have 2 issues of the Road Warriors comics that I did not know Antarctic Press did back in the day. Ben Dunn's company, and he posted a thing about it today. So I went on eBay to look them up, and they're like $50 a pop. They're trying to sell them for.
Oh my god!
I just want 2 wrestling comics for my wrestling pod that I'm putting together.
I got a wrestling comic. I'll show you. I want to show you.
Yeah, wasn't it WCW or?
No, it's
I used to have that one with Lex Luger on the.
Yeah, it's not that. It's Ric Flair's on it.
Oh, Ric Flair. Okay.
It's a Whatnot comic, I think. I can find it. Well,
Yeah, I
it's
had a
not,
bunch
you know
of
what?
early WCWs, and I stupidly sold them. Now they're hard to find.
It's
Did you happen to check out that new Ric Flair one where he plays a spy?
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That was actually a really fun comic.
Yeah, it's like a what if kind of. It's a Whatnot comic.
Yeah, that's a whole different cover than the one I got.
And it's like it shows his plane crash. Of course, he was in that he was famously he was in a plane crash with Wahoo McDaniel and a couple of guys. I think a guy actually died. He broke his back, and they said he would never wrestle again. But in the book, he wakes up on a ventilator, and they repair him like the $6 million man, and recruit him to be a spy for the CIA. So, just outlandish, just as outlandish as the guy himself sometimes.
Yeah, it was a perfect story for him.
Yeah. Woo! I used to have the Undertaker comics, but I think I sold them.
Yep, I got that whole run. That was fun too, with him and Mankind battling away and dealing with the demons.
Yeah. I was like that. I tell you what, the Undertaker had was in some of my all-time favorite matches. The first Hell in a Cell match with him and Shawn Michaels was amazing, and sometimes it gets overshadowed just because Foley, threw himself off the top of the cage in the other Hell in a Cell match, which is a memorable match, but the one with Michaels is a better match.
Yeah,
but there's a funny story I watched where they were talking to Taker about the match with Mankind. And he says, "What do you think when he went off the top and fell?" He goes, "Well," he says, "I saw him moving, so I knew he was all right." But then he says, "The one that worried me was when we got back up on the cage." And I'm like, "Seriously, Mick?" So they go back on there, and he choke slams him. And they had these zip ties that are supposed to keep the chain link fence intact, but Mick's so heavy, hit, and he went right through it, right. And there's a chair there. The chair came down right with him, knocked his tooth off into his nose. And he's sitting there not moving. And they said, the referee said, the referee saw me look up. And no, I think it's Mankind saying this. He goes, he was groggy. He was waking up. He see his stars. And he saw Taker looking down from top of the cage. And he heard him say his deep voice to the referee, "Is he dead?" But then the crazy bastard finished the match. I mean,
well, he definitely had the practice from ECW.
Yeah,
it's like he's getting his ear ripped off and stuff like that.
He's definitely paying for it now.
Oh yeah, that's why he plays Santa Claus. It's a little easier on the body.
He held on a little too long, I think. He just. Like, I remember I think it was when he was in WCW, was it Bill Watts or somebody? Told him, he says, "You're not going to last long doing this, the way you do it." So I think it was Bill Watts, or it might have been Arn. No, it was Arn. I think it was Arn Anderson or Ole Anderson told him that. And I'm probably like some people are like, "Oh my God, they're talking about wrestling." But I like the old school wrestling. I grew up watching Memphis wrestling because I'm from the South.
Wrestling and comics go hand in hand. It's characters and storylines.
Yeah.
A lot of the wrestlers, a lot of them are comic book collectors.
And you watch that Japan wrestling, and it's basically all comic book characters, but
oh yeah,
they take their stuff serious, and it's
those
fun
guys are really like stiff. They really lay some shots in on people.
Yeah,
in Japan they don't pull around. Like if you watch those guys, they don't pull around. And I saw one, was it Inoki? I think it was his name, the world famous Japanese wrestler, and he got in a match with a guy that didn't want to like cooperate with him. And he starts, you can look it up on YouTube, he starts kicking the hell out of this guy. I mean, just destroyed him. It was like the guy was like just like, oh God, don't hit me no more. You know, he was just, I guess Inoki got so pissed, he just that in the terminology of wrestling, they call it, you know, you're doing business with them when you're in the ring. So if you're not going to do business, as they say, they'll make it real. Or like, and also you'll see the videos where these fans decide they want to get in the ring and be part of the show. And I saw, was it Randy Savage? Somebody did that too, and he beat the crap out of that guy.
Yeah. It's like Andre the Giant. He didn't mess around. If you screwed up a move, he got mad and he made you pay for it in the ring. Everybody would talk.
He did that to Ultimate Warrior one time. Ultimate Warrior was getting a little too stiff with the clotheslines. And he come back around, and next time around, he just stuck his hand out and knocked him right in his face, knocked him on the ground. Or he would, if he got mad at somebody in the ring, he would set on them and not get up. And if you have Andre the Giant setting on you, that's a problem. He would have you ever seen his hands? Like this is a little mini bottle, liquor bottle. Somebody sent me, it's nasty. It's like, I wouldn't even touch it. It's got 99 proof pickle flavored. But that, if it was, let's say that was his hand, it was a real bottle, it would look like that.
Yeah, when we were in Milwaukee one time, he was wrestling Hulk Hogan, and they both came past me. And Andre put his hand over the top of my head, and it pretty much touched my shoulders and everything. It's like, I think I was about 10 years old, maybe.
Oh, wow.
Well, that had to be a
scared the shit out.
I remember going to see SmackDown in Nashville when I lived in Nashville, and Big Show was there. And I know he's not as big as Andre, but he was big. And he comes out, and you don't realize how big he is until he walks past you. You're like, holy crap.
Yeah, and then when you're at those live shows and you see how small the ring actually is.
Yep. And that they light it like in between matches, it's a TV show. So they turn the lights on when they're getting ready to go back on the air. And then it gets dark again. So it's a different experience, but it's fun. I was there at another show when Stone Cold was a bad guy, was a heel, and we were trash talking. So, you know, you get to show you trash talk the bad guys or the guys you're rooting against. And he threatened, he said, I'm going to stomp a mud hole in your ass, son, and walk it dry if you don't shut up. And I said, yes.
Out here in Milwaukee, I remember some of the shows in Milwaukee and Green Bay, too, for WW. Oh, back then it was WWF. But they'd have the recording for the Monday night show, but if you could come in, and they'd also be recording that one Sunday morning show that they did beforehand, or they'd be recording the Thursday show after, so you'd get a double showing when you'd go to them, which is awesome. They'd change the mat banners and stuff like that between.
Yeah, sometimes some of those house shows would be almost more entertaining than the TV televised shows you go to.
Yep.
And
speaking of house, some of those in your house shows were actually pay-per-views are a lot of fun live.
Oh yeah,
I remember.
I never got to go to a pay-per-view, but I've been to Raw twice and SmackDown twice, and I remember like we're talking about the size of a Big Show, but like Undertaker and Kane came out. When they were the Brothers of Destruction, and I'm like, God, those guys are just monsters. How would you like to run into one of those guys in a dark alley? And another one that was intimidating to see walk by was Brock Lesnar. It's just a man beast. That's all he is.
Yeah, I like the early days too with Baron Von Raschke, the Claw, Ken Patera. I met before he tore that restaurant up and got thrown in jail.
Oh yeah. Well, those guys were crazy. Like, I used to watch the Memphis wrestling with my grandpa every Sunday, and like they were wild. Memphis was really more entertaining than WWF. Was more geared towards a younger audience.
Yeah,
But,
I preferred the Southern wrestling,
Jerry the King
especially
Lawler,
with the Von Erichs and stuff.
Yeah, Dirty Dutch Mantel, Randy Savage was there before he went to WWF, and just some of the guys. They had another guy named Superstar Billy Graham, and they had Terry Funk would be down there. It was famously Terry Funk and Jerry the King Lawler had a match in the arena, and it was like, well, Terry Funk said, I can't get a fair shake in Memphis with all these fans and these referees, so I'm going to meet you in an empty arena at the Memphis, and we're going to wrestle with nobody in there but a referee, right? And I'm going to bring the referee. So they get in, and he's like tries to do like that fire. He tries to throw fire at Lawler, and Lawler takes from and does it to him, and or does something to his eye, and he's like, Funk's like, oh my, he really was selling it too. Oh my, and he even showed up at the next taping with bandages over his eyes, like he was blind, and and then of course he did the thing with Andy Kaufman, and there's a funny story about that, where Andy Kaufman came in and he was like, I'm only going to wrestle women. Like, he's the intergender wrestling champion. And he would go on the air and he'd be like, you see this right here? This is soap, Memphis people in Memphis. You wash it, you use it under, this is deodorant. And here's called a toothbrush. So he knew how to be a heel because he watched wrestling when he was growing up. Yeah. So like finally Lawler got him in the match with him. He said, you're going to fight me. So he gets in there and Lawler gives him his patented move at the end, the pile driver. Well, he's laying on motionless, and Jerry Lawler tells this story. I think it was on Stone Cold's podcast. And he's not moving. It's time to move on to the next match. The referee walks over to Lawler and goes, he says he wants an ambulance. He said, is he hurt? No, but he says it would be great if you just call it. He goes, it costs $15,000 if we call an ambulance to bring him here. I'm not calling an ambulance. Tell him to get up. So he walks back over, comes back to Lawler, and he says he'd pay for it. He says, okay, well then call the ambulance. So they call it, and he stays in the hospital. There's nothing wrong with it, but he stayed in the hospital for 3 days milking it for the show. And then they did the thing, on I guess everybody, you probably all seen the Letterman appearance where he's on there with Jerry Lawler, and he's got a neck brace on. He's like, I want an apology, and he told Lawler to smack him like that in between commercial break, but and they didn't tell Letterman exactly what they were going to do, but I think Dave had an idea of what they were going to do. And it's brilliant that that's the one thing that people don't realize about it. It's not, these guys are athletes, but I know they're not really hitting each other, but they are taking a toll on their body, but it's kind of a skill to be able to get the entire crowd to hate your guts so bad. Like Jerry Lawler said,
well, it's like a stunt man. They're taking the hit, but they know how to do it. They know how to hit. They know how to take it.
And Lawler said that like he knew he was doing his job if somebody tried to go across the railing and attack him. But they'd have all kinds of crazy matches. Loser gets his hair shaved, all that stuff. I used to love that stuff. Or like loser leaves town, and all they were doing was, before there was like the global wrestling like WWE has now, where it's just they're all over the country or the world. Of course, they had territories. Like you have a Florida Championship Wrestling, you had the Mid-Atlantic Wrestling, Mid-South Wrestling. NWA was like overall in charge of all that. You had like wrestling from Hollywood. They had the Texas territories, like World Class Championship. So if they had a rivalry and they were like, loser leaves town, they would lose and they'd leave town, but then they'd just go to another territory. So they go like to the West Coast. But, I just like that stuff with like those guys were wild though. They talk about Harley Race. He had like they said he could punch really hard. He like a big right hand. And like he would get into bar fights all the time because people try to challenge him. And he had a quote. He said, "If I hit you with my right hand, and you're still on your feet, I'm going to look behind you and see what's holding you up. So, but they had like there's another guy named Hawk Koo, basically ripped somebody's eyeball out one time. I think he got in a fight with the police one time and whipped all of them before they took him to jail. And but like it was the Wild West back then, you know. It's not like that now. They do a lot of drug testing now. I know our viewers dropped off to 4. We had 9, but we're not talking about wrestling. I think we left everybody off, but it's all right. We'll quit talking about it. But you get me talking about that. It's like movies. If somebody like I was with talking to Mad Spidey on his show.
Well, yeah, you know, it's also a lunchtime in some time zones, so they may have to just go back to work or something.
Yeah. I was just joking. I know everybody kind of people drop in and out. You realize that when you start doing these streams that people will check in and then check out, and it's just
some people just stop by to say hi for a few minutes.
Yeah, you pretty much got to rely on the replays because it's quite a few people actually do check them out.
If you want to,
they definitely get more views than the recorded videos, dude.
Yeah,
even the sales get more views.
Wellbore said he's a lurking. But like, if you want to get me on a rant, just ask me about wrestling or movies. Like they started talking about ninja movies one night with Mad Spidey's Outback Hangout show on Saturday, and we talked about Hong Kong action movies for like an hour. I mean, I know it's ridiculous, but like the more ridiculous and outrageous, the better when it comes to those action movies from Hong Kong. You're driving and working. Okay. Well, keep your eye on the road and your hands up on the wheel. Brian said he's working on eBay listings. Yep, I've done that before. I had a little dispute with somebody on eBay. Again, I'll tell you guys. I kind of told Robert and Cheap Comic Clicker, but we I had like a frame of like Confederate bills, and they were real Confederate bills. And the guy was like, "Are they glued in there?" I said, "I don't think they are." I mean, I didn't know for sure, right? So he gets them and goes, "Well, they were glued in there, but it was slightly glued in there. They weren't completely glued on it. Just enough." He said, "But they're still original." I took them out because I was going to put them in my collection. Which I was like, "Why would you take them out of a frame that's got a certificate of authentication on the back of it?" And it was over a $200 thing item because I checked the last sold on the ones I could hunt down on eBay. So I sold it to him for $125, which is a deal. He takes it out, then he sends me a message and goes, "Well, I feel you mislead me." And all I said was, "I don't think they're glued completely down," is all I told him. And so then he takes them out and says, "Well, they had slight glue on the back of them when I took it out of the." Then I said, "Well, I didn't know that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for the inconvenience." Right. 2 days go by. He sends me a message this morning and says he feels that I owe him a refund or a partial refund for some of it, even though he can't return it. And basically, I was like, I didn't say it. I was nicer about it than this, but basically it was like, too bad, so sad.
Yeah.
I mean, what can I do about it now? I can't.
I mean, if you sell the guy something that's framed as a collectible and it's got a certificate of authenticity with it, and he's going to destroy that just to,
I mean, he basically, I don't know. I think it was more valuable inside the frame.
I would have thought so, but I don't really know that much about those kind of items.
I don't either. I was selling it from my mother. It was my stepfather's. He collected like coins and stuff like that and obsolete bills. And so, I mean, I can't get the money back. She took it out. So I think she's already spent it. So,
right.
I don't know.
So I put a video down there, Matt, if you want to play it. I just made it because you guys were talking about wrestling. Gives you kind of a look at what I've been doing lately.
I always thought Hulk would come out of the closet.
Yeah. Did you see what happened on Raw?
All I can say is that in a couple of weeks, my channel's going to get really weird.
Well, Well, I'll look forward to it. That sounds like fun.
What other skeletons have you got hiding back there?
Everybody and anybody you can think of that AI knows who it is.
That was kind of frightening too. That they have Hulk Hogan come out of your closet like that. I mean, really. Well, it'd be even worse if it was Undertaker. That would scare the crap out of me. Yeah, he got booed out of the stadium.
I could try the Undertaker. I don't know if it'll know who he is or not.
But yeah, he got booed out of the arena the other night, didn't he, Kirby?
Yep.
And I don't think it was because everybody said it was because he supported our incoming president, but Undertaker did too, and he didn't get booed.
Yeah, I think there's a lot more to that. He had some more things with his new girlfriend and stuff, and his daughter again. So, and
that thing he said 10 years ago, I guess people ain't got over that. And also, he's the biggest liar on the face of the earth. He claimed he almost played bass and he was almost the bass player for Metallica. He said one time he wrestled 400 days a year, 400 days in 1 year because of the travel. He basically traveled, and so basically he's a time traveler because he flew all over the country so much. I mean, I guess technically he did, but and then also when they were trying to unionize, he ratted Jesse Ventura out. There's other stuff too, like when they'd be like, "We need you to put this guy over, Hulk." You go, "That's not going to work for me, brother. It's in my contract." And would talk about people behind the back, backstab other wrestlers.
Yeah, his contract alone is what ticked a lot of wrestlers off. It's got his foot in there early and secured everything before anybody else did. So.
He tried to act like Undertaker hurt him one time with Tombstone. Undertaker talked about it on his podcast. And he says his head. He said, I look back at the replay. I thought I'd injured him for real. I was worried. Like my career's over. I just injured the Golden Goose. Taker's like freaking out because he just started out. He said his head was that far off the mat when we dropped the Tombstone.
Yep.
And
it's like the Undertaker is one of the most secure wrestlers out there. He's a scary looking guy and everything. But if you actually get to know him and you listen to his podcast and all that stuff, you listen to other wrestlers. And he makes sure that he's not going to injure you with what he's doing, and he'll work with the guys constantly pre-match to make sure everything's done right. So
and Shawn Michaels said there was 2 wrestlers that he felt completely he had no worries when he wrestled them about getting injured. It was Undertaker and Bret the Hitman Hart.
Yeah.
Regardless of if they didn't get along, because Bret and Shawn didn't get along a lot. But he said he would never hurt you in the ring. It didn't matter if he hated my guts or not.
Yeah, he took it professionally.
And you have to in that business. And you see what happens when they don't. Like you got a guy that maybe doesn't know what he's doing. Like look what Goldberg ended Bret Hart's career basically with that kick to the face. So here we go. We'll talk about wrestling again.
We'll just have to do one that's just wrestling talk.
Yeah,
I can go for hours on it.
Yeah, well,
I blame Robert on that one. Bringing Hogan out of the closet brought it back.
Yeah.
Now you just had to bring Tom Cruise out of the closet. I'm just joking. Was that a skit on South Park? Remember, he says now Kirby's looking behind him, make sure Hogan doesn't come up on him behind him. You could also get I don't know, you probably get in trouble with Disney, but you could get have Shrek walk in the room or something. Or is it DreamWorks?
I haven't tried Shrek. That would be a good one to try. I've done I did Snow White a little while ago, but I didn't like the way it turned out.
Ric Flair.
It pretty much knows any character that's been in a recent movie. So, Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, of course, Spider-Man, stuff like that. It does Vampirella pretty well, which was surprising because I didn't think it would know who that was because there are a lot of other characters I try. It doesn't know who it is. It won't do She-Hulk. It gives me like a Hulk with boobs.
That's all right. I'd rather have Vampirella come out of the closet than She-Hulk.
I don't know. I'm kind of like the Green Ladies. I'm kind of I guess I'm like Captain Kirk. I like green skinned women. But yeah, I don't know. So I'm having fun though talking to you guys. I will recommend. I will tell you. I don't know if we could watch another YouTube video or not. Do you think we can get away with watching that guy talking about like he don't do drugs no more, flat Earth, or do you think that's copyrighted?
I have a feeling that's probably copyrighted.
All right. I'll send you a link to it. This guy act like he said, I don't freebase cocaine no more. He said, well, except if I, he says, I won't freebase cocaine. He said, I will do it on holidays, but I will not do it while I'm behind the wheel of a car. Well, unless I'm stuck in traffic and ain't got nowhere to go. And it just keeps going on and like till he's like, he says, but I won't do it in church. And then you go, well, unless I've heard the hymn before or the sermon, or the sermon's more, then I'll do it. But I won't do it. It just gets worse and worse at the end. It's just that it starts out, you think he's really serious, like that, I went to this rehab and they've changed my life. And it just keeps getting worse and worse. Oh.
Yeah, most of the things with YouTube playing stuff, if you stop it every 20 to 30 seconds, you're usually pretty good. Where you're being transformative, but sometimes they just claim it no matter what, just to knock you to so that you don't do it again, and it's stupid.
I'm probably going to get in trouble for this one, but I'm going to play it anyway.
My opportunity to show true 1,000% greatness, over everyone.
Now I'm just goofing off.
Who is your daddy, and what does he do?
Okay. Oh.
Who is your daddy, and what does he do?
Everyone's favorite. All right, but I got a bunch of goofy stuff on here. I put like the gifts or something. If we got Elmo. And this is like somebody starts talking about something to us. Like, here's us talking about wrestling. And I got a couple more, but I won't show them. I did have this one for Christmas because Die Hard's a Christmas movie. I don't care what anybody says. And then I just stuff I did this school. We had that Superman trailer on. I really liked it.
Fun cover.
Yeah. Oh, hold on. Let me move you up.
I'm going through. I went outside to grab her lunch, and there was a box sitting out there, so I got my monthly comics in the mail. But this is that new pet pool party one that they got with all the Deadpool pets.
That's cool. I like that.
You want to see what I get in the mail every month? Type of comics. Yeah. Since I'm more oddball stuff than just Marvel and DC. Yeah. Scary Christmas. Getting it looks like there's a bunch of Christmas stuff in here. They're a little late, but it's verse Killer Claws. Scary Christmas runs are fun horror stories. They'll get a bright, like I think it's got 2 or 3 horror stories in each issue. This is the new Creep Show horror one shot. Our holiday one shot, I mean. These have been great with 2 stories. Well, 2 to 3 stories per issue. I did get one recently. I just showed the Deadpool pool party. Space Ghost, of course, gotta stay on that run. Don't even know what I got in here. The new Black, White, and Bloodshot. This one's okay. And they changed the character's image so much on it that got number 3 also. So got 3 and 4.
Cool,
which is always nice. What's that?
It looks like a cool cover.
Yeah, I love the highlight.
Whatever it was.
Mostly black and white, and then the demon, the octopus creature is in red, and the blood's red, and of course his red dot they got to keep red. Hatchet Midnight Murders. If you haven't read these and you like 80s horror flicks. These are really fun. They got runs and one shots all the time coming out with the Victor Crowley Hatchet character. And we got another Valiant one. This is Resurgence of the Valiant Universe, number 3. This run, basically, you're getting all the Valiant characters, dealing with some major issues. And then the ones that sent me a wonderful box this last year, Sweetie Candy Vigilante, the final issue of Volume 2. And we got Flaming Carrot on the cover, which I don't know why, but that's why I grabbed this cover to see if he's actually in it. Which
I haven't
would be
actually
awesome.
heard of Flaming Carrot in quite a while.
Yeah, I know. He hasn't been around anything, but no, I don't. But, oh, no, he does make an appearance in there. So that's awesome. She almost has a Madman style shirt on. But, Spawn kills. Spawn kills every Spawn. If you have not heard of this run at all, it is so much fun. You got this miniature Spawn character that just wants to take out all the other Spawns and be the only Spawn. And now we're getting mini Violators that have been coming in and stuff like that. I'm hoping we get mini Clowns in this final issue because this is number 5 of 5. But, Minor Threats, a wonderful run. I haven't read the whole initial run, but this Barfly character, this is the final issue, and this was just hilarious. Just watching this fly type character that doesn't have wings and gets abused by his evil boss, and then he's trying to do his own thing with his musical friends and stuff, put a band together. EC Comics has been bringing back these horror style storylines. Epitaphs from the Abyss is my least liked so far, but it does have some good stories. But it's of course, the longer run. It's a 12-issue run.
I like the sci-fi one better than that one.
Yeah, I like the Cruel World. Also, that one was only a 6-issue run. That one had stories in it also.
I sold somebody some. Was it you?
Nope. I got mine right off the bat, pre-ordered.
I think it was Missing Mars.
Yeah. And then this one, I'm glad it came in because we're going to talk about it tomorrow on our Crimson Cull show, but Alligator Loki's holiday special.
Oh, yeah. Kevin told me you read that. He said it was kind of cool.
Yeah, the other Alligator Loki one was pretty fun. This one, I'm looking forward. I believe this is the final issue. To find out what happens with Plastic Man No More. This has been a great run. Hoping they extend off it to his son afterwards. But
I've heard that was good. I might get to read one day.
Poor guy's just falling apart.
Yeah, wasn't it something like he was like dying or something?
Yeah, he did something. I forgot what it initially was, but it ended up making his right side of his body just start to drip and deform, and his whole arm and stuff. He stuck it in a bag, like a colostomy bag, so he could collect the body parts and he wouldn't lose all his body parts. But he's worried about his son ending up having that same thing happen in the future. So he's trying to find a way to reverse it before he dies. I was so happy they brought it back, and it was brought back because of the 40th. 2024 was the 40th anniversary for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Usagi Yojimbo, and they brought Space Usagi back. And this has been a fun run to pick up on again. So let me know if I'm going too long. I'm only halfway through my. We're not showing anything, so. Got Toxie, the Toxic Avenger. Number 3, I don't like the way they're drawing the character. This one I don't mind. But the initial covers and stuff, he just looked too goofy. But the story's fun. I like how they're resetting it up. I have no idea what this is, but you give me psychedelic stuff, I'm going to buy it. TV and her time-traveling psychedelic mushrooms. That's the name hopefully explains what it is, but I have no idea yet.
I don't think the program would let me animate that cover.
No, probably not. It would be fun though, watching her take a bath. Got Geiger, of course. Got to stick on this run. And this one, I'm hoping they've been talking. Junkyard Joe is going to be showing up, I'm hoping, in this one. And red coat.
Yeah, I got that one.
This. If I didn't get the connecting covers, I always got the wraparound. I wonder why I didn't get the wraparound this one. And the regular run of Creep Show, of course. I think this is volume 3. Yeah, volume 3, issue 4. So they got one more of those left. This is the DC Horror Presents. This one's been decent. I'm looking forward to checking out the DC Horror Presents Creature Commandos, but I figured since that's a longer run, I'd wait for the trade. And this is the newest EC Comics run, which you might have been talking about, Matt. The Shiver Suspense Stories. I got the sketch cover, of course. And hopefully they do. No, they don't give you the regular cover behind the sketch cover. I like when they do that. Then She, Return of the Warrior. This is a nice bring back of She. Restarting the story, and well, not really restarting the story, giving you the history of She, and then we're being introduced to her daughter, which I'm guessing we're going to see a new storyline from her pretty soon here. These two characters are new from Xenoscope. At least I don't remember reading them in any other character storyline, but this is Terror and Fury, Rise of the Night. So they looked interesting. Kind of got like the Wolverine look to the one character, but yeah, there's a better view, or Batman look to him. I mean, not Wolverine, but we'll see what it's about. This, I'm guessing, is Batman. Yeah, the final. I think it's only 3 issues, but the glow in the dark covers from Batman Full Moon. We're going to be reviewing issue. I'm reading it right now, issue 2, on the Crimson Cult Comic Club in our group review tomorrow. Also, then we got Deadpool Wolverine #1. I thought I read issue 1, but oh no, that was that one-shot run that Deadpool and Wolverine did. And of course, I had to get a sketch cover and a sketch cover. That's it. That's this month's comics that I will be reading.
Cool.
Not too much Marvel and DC anymore. But I did get my orders down from 200 to about 100. 120.
Seems to be really kind of making a comeback with series that people like. I mean, just from what I'm seeing, a lot of good reviews on different DC books lately.
Yep. And we got those new Hanna-Barbera runs that they're bringing more and more of the characters out. So you should at least see a few different groups of characters this year that are new.
Well, the guy sent me another message, so I just blocked him. I'm tired of dealing with him. One thing you got to do, you can't let stuff get to you on here about that.
I don't know how.
Shouldn't have got it if he didn't.
I mean, if somebody buys something, dismantles it, and then wants a refund, I mean,
yeah,
I
mean, he obviously
that would be like,
if the coins were loose and
that
stuff.
That would be like me when my comics get here when you ship them. Me ripping the cover off all of them, going, "Hey, I ripped the cover off. I don't want them no more."
Yeah, exactly. Basically, that's the same thing.
And I believe they do that too, because I've sold a couple things that they said got their damaged, and they showed it, and it's like, that was probably your item that was damaged. That's why you rebought the item, because that don't look like my item. But
right,
can't argue with eBay about it. But
I don't think he can even. I don't think he can even dispute this.
No, I've tried to dispute stuff, and I'd never get any. It's always benefits the seller no matter what, or the buyer no matter what.
I know, but I don't.
After a year, you get it back anyways. So, because I got my first negative just over a year ago, and now I'm back to 100%, and it doesn't show it anymore.
What I'm saying is, I don't think that I don't know what he would say to eBay that would get them to make me refund his money.
It amazes me what
if they try to make you refund their money, I would say ask him to return it in its original condition, and I will be happy to refund his money.
Yeah, and you already got the negative.
I mean, if it goes that far, you know.
Whereas my guy didn't give me my negative until after I refunded him.
He didn't really give it. I think he's probably going to give a review now. He's probably trying to hold it over my head.
The one that gave you the negative review.
You know, there's another one. I had another one give me one because they bought something and it was my fault, which it's cool, but they bought something and I couldn't find it. I don't know where it's at.
Yeah, I've had that.
And
I had okay, one of my nephews came to the house and they took my stuff off my eBay rack.
And I told him, I said, I can't find it. I'm sorry, I had to cancel it. And then he left a review that said that I canceled for no reason. So, you know, nothing I can do about that. But so I'm at 98.9% rating. So I really don't care if this person wants to give me another negative review. I mean, I'll be honest with you, I'm not selling that much on eBay right now anyway. So
yeah, you're still safe. As long as people are over 95, I still buy from them.
I had it for 100, so it kind of irks me a little bit. But well, apparently all the big snow has missed us so far, but everybody's like, I knew they were wrong. I said, well, I wouldn't like count my chickens before they hatch just yet because it could still snow. It's still cold out there and it's below freezing. It's like 25 degrees outside. So
yeah, it's been in the 10s to the 20s here in Wisconsin, and we've been green since Christmas. But last night we got a dusting of snow. Not much. It's like we need the moisture.
Here in Florida.
You're going to get a blizzard in Florida pretty soon. It's like Texas is going through it right now. Mexico just had a big winter storm.
It does snow. It has snowed here.
Welcome.
Yeah, when I lived in Arizona, it snowed a couple times.
We're talking about eBay disputes and pending snowstorms.
I can't identify with any of those things.
Well, good. I got somebody wanting
I'm just
money.
Kidding. I'm just kidding. I did 24 years in Wisconsin, so I did my time.
Yeah.
Wisconsin's where I grew up too. So that's yeah.
Where in Wisconsin?
Whitewater, Delavan area.
Okay.
By Lake Geneva.
All right. Yeah, I was a little east of you, in Racine.
I'm just underneath Lake Winnebago.
Oh, we got all kinds of Wisconsin people here today. Cool.
It's a very popular place.
Go Packers.
I'd be surprised how many stars and music people come from here.
How many serial killers?
Yeah, we got those too.
Yeah. We got Ed Gain and
Ed Gein, Dahmer.
Yeah. Hey, you got
the ones that they make
all positives. Nothing wrong with the water up there, I'm sure.
Well, I was talking to everybody about how I sold somebody a frame, some obsolete Confederate money in a frame, you know, and so he takes it out of the frame and says, "Oh, it's glued on the back." Even though I said, "I don't think it's glued." I told him, "I'm not sure, but I don't think it's glued." When he asked me,
okay.
So he gets it. He said, "I took them out," and like, why did you take them out? It's like worth $200 in the frame. And so now then he's wanting his money back
because they're glued.
Yeah, I said, "Well, sorry." And he got now he's. I don't know what.
Well, can he return it? I mean,
There's no glue
Just because he
dissolver.
took it out of the frame, honestly, he should be able to put it back in the frame unless it was just he smashed it.
I don't want it back. He's keeping it. I don't want it back. I'm tired of it.
Yeah.
It's stuck with it now.
I mean, you regret it now. Sorry, but you should have took it out of the. I don't know. I'm sure eBay's going to do something to me. They'll probably try to charge my account or something. I don't care. I'll just close my eBay account. Don't test me. I don't even make that much money on eBay. I've made $70 on eBay in 2 months, except for this sale. So I was selling it from a mom, and I asked my mom about it. She said, I'm not giving the money back. So what can I do?
Yeah, I don't do anything above the 250 free listings anymore. I got rid of my eBay store about 5 years ago.
Yeah. Well, let's not talk about it anymore. It's pissing me off. What's I going to do? I don't know. Well, we've got. I'm trying to think of something else to talk about, but my brain is completely just drained at this point. Somebody got something to talk about? While we're waiting here, I'll play this.
I saw Jeffrey Dahmer in person.
No shit.
Yep. Since we're all Wisconsinites here talking about serial killers. I was in mock trial and as a senior in high school, and the championship for mock trial was at the Milwaukee courthouse, which happened to be at the same time as Jeffrey Dahmer's trial. So in between mock trial, we could go up and wait in line and get ushered into the courtroom during the trial. And he had bulletproof glass and everything behind him, and that was a big deal.
Whoa.
Yeah.
But it's like looking at
I was in the same room as the serial killer.
It's like being in a zoo and seeing a lion behind the bars. You know what I mean?
It was
like
a spectacle for sure.
Man, that whole case is. I watched that movie about that miniseries they had on Netflix. But there was a documentary too, and like the thing to me that was the most upsetting to hear about was there was like several opportunities where the police could have arrested this guy, and they didn't. Or like, well, they let that boy go. Like they let that boy go back with that guy. Like,
yeah.
I was like, oh my God, let's not get into that though. But like that stuff fascinates me. Like how that, I don't know. Like the thing that fascinates me are people that like Ted Bundy. There were women that would send him love letters.
Well, he's a handsome dude. He's
Yeah, but he would rip your face off if you were in the room with him. But
some people find that bad boy chic attractive.
Yeah, but I don't know. That stuff. I think I knew somebody said that they knew somebody related to John Wayne Gacy. So I don't know what.
My buddy in Montana that we'd hang out at his house all the time. He lived basically about a block away from Ted Kaczynski's house. So
really,
we obviously seen him out doing yard work and stuff, and didn't know he was anybody evil or anything at the time. But yeah, that's
what's interesting about these people is like Bundy. If you looked at him, you wouldn't have suspected. You could be in the room with somebody that's a serial killer, wouldn't even know it. Because like in the movies,
look at Dahmer, he didn't look like it.
Yeah,
I mean, do you really want to look creepy if you are a serial killer? It's like nobody's going to actually come up to you.
Like the old Hollywood movies, like the homicidal maniac look like a homicidal maniac, or what you would think one would look like, and they don't look like that.
I always love that when you hear the neighbors and the friends. It's like, oh, he's the nicest person.
He was so quiet.
That's why they can talk people into their car.
It's just the fact they think that they actually take showers, as opposed to like looking like a homeless person. Yep. And then at that point you're like, maybe this is a serial killer. I don't know.
Yeah, they never like. It's always funny. Like I know people used to get freaked out like with guys that are all padded up or goth looking people, or people that like are in the black heavy metal stuff, and like most of those people are really friendly people if you talk to them.
Yeah. I met a lot of very strange people, and they're supposedly normal.
Yeah. But I don't know. That stuff's kind of scary because they say there's at least 40.
Either way, whatever's easier for you, just push the button here, and then when you get outside, all you have to do is push the button.
They say what?
Okay. Sounds good.
Well,
Sorry.
the FBI claims that like there's at least 40 serial killers active at any time in the United States. So
Wow.
that's kind of scary.
That's scary thought. Yeah.
Well, and the thing is too, like I listen to a lot of true crime stuff. Like when somebody's murdered, the first person they look at is like with Lacey Peterson. They looked at Scott Peterson, right? You look at the husband, like somebody related to him, a friend, and these serial killers, they kill people they don't know. So it's extremely hard to find them until there's a pattern. And that's all right. Like the Green River Killer didn't know he was the Green River Killer until he'd already killed like 12 women. So
right.
And
Green River Killer.
Yeah, Green River Killer. Yeah, I think it was in Washington State.
Isn't that because he was dumping them all the bodies in the same spot or something?
Yeah. Let's not talk about that stuff. It's kind of.
I'm into it. It's okay.
Okay. Well,
it's like all the kids nowadays with these shootings and stuff. It's like you hear that the cops had some things that they could have researched and they never did, and you don't find out about it until after people get shot.
Well, a lot of those serial killers got away with it for years, like the BTK killer, and he just got so cocky because he hadn't got caught that he just started like writing letters again saying, "I'm the BTK killer, and you can't catch me."
Yeah.
Yeah. But then, he screwed up. He printed his letters off on a printer that they traced back to the church he worked at. Why is it they always they work at a church or something? Or there's a picture of John Wayne Gacy with Rosalind Carter.
Wow.
So,
yeah, it's always the middle-aged balding guys, I guess.
Yeah. It's true.
Yeah, he's got the religious quotes and stuff like that.
And they usually don't get caught because of law enforcement. They usually get caught because they just start getting sloppy, like Bundy did. And Bundy actually escaped from jail twice.
He did?
Yeah. I don't know how you let somebody like that escape, that you're suspected has killed over 25 people, escape from jail, but
I wonder if he just batted his eyes at some pretty correctional officers and got some help out.
I think once he quit eating and lost weight in jail in Colorado so he could get skinny enough to crawl out the heating vent, the heating duct or something. And then he got caught, but then he jumped. They had him, he was defending himself in the other escape, and they let him in the law library. And as soon as the
I'm gonna have to get going because now that my little helper's gone, I'm hearing some yelling going on. So
man.
I will talk to you guys later.
Okay. Bye.
See you later, Gerby.
Nice seeing you.
I'm always fascinated in like the psyche of somebody that would, because it's foreign to me. I couldn't imagine like, hey, it'd be great to kill somebody. It looks like fun, but I think my internet might be going out. We got ice storm coming, so kind of.
You're blinking a little bit back and forth. I know. I think the psyche of the psychopath is very interesting indeed. I think we're all kind of fascinated with it to some extent, because it's so.
I think it's always
it's so different than what.
Yeah. I keep talking over everybody. I'm sorry.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No, it's not your fault. I'm fascinated in like how somebody can think like that. Like, I'm not going to mention his name on a stream because, we might get in trouble. But there was a guy in Europe in the 1930s. I think you know what I'm talking about. Who basically started a world war. And you're like, why would somebody think like that? Like what they did to people, it's just like, and then you're like, it's just, I don't know why it's fascinating, but not that I condone anything like that. I'm just saying it's just scary. But let's talk about movies or something. That's freaking me out.
All right, let's talk about movies. Have you guys seen Carry On?
Carry On? No.
It's a new Netflix movie
lately.
Jason Bateman. It was a good flick.
All right. I want to watch Saturday Night, the movie about Saturday Night Live. It's about the first night of Saturday Night Live, and it's like they had a lot of interesting things happened that night, I reckon. And I don't know. It looks good. If you ever see the trailer for it, watch it. I think it's on pay-per-view now, or you can rent it digitally. Okay. I've been watching a lot of karate and kung fu movies lately for some reason. And I like the movies that are so bad they're good. Like they're so bad they're kind of hilarious. You know what I mean? Like there's one called Samurai Cop, and has to be the worst movie I have ever seen in my life, but it's hilarious. It's so bad it's hilarious. Like just like the dialogue is so stupid. Like he'll be like he's hanging out with this girl, and like people don't talk like this. I don't think. In my experience, they don't. Like just like this girl who's hitting on this girl. He's like, well, I'll be back later, baby. Keep it warm for me. And he walks off. I'm like, is that supposed to work for you? Okay. And the guy had his hair. There's a story about it. He's got long hair in the movie, so he thought the movie was over. He didn't know they had to do reshoot, so he cut his hair off. He said. So they called him back and said he just thought they were calling him back in the office, and the guy goes, "Where's your hair at?" He goes, "I cut it." So instead of getting like a nice wig, you know, from like a prop maker or whatever, a costume artist, they go down to like on Sunset Boulevard somewhere and buy a cheap wig out of a wig shop and put on him. So you can see him, and they put a hat on him to try to cover up how bad the wig is. It's just so horrible. And but yeah, I like I don't know, like the cheesy action movies. I grew up in the 80s, so we watched movies like American Ninja and Enter the Ninja, all the ninja movies, the Chuck Norris movies, you know. And if you look at them, they're really ridiculous, just on the premise of the whole movie. Like this one guy is going to go in there and kill like 50 people, like Schwarzenegger in Commando. And speaking of Schwarzenegger, one of my favorite movies of all time. Here you go.
Who is your daddy and what does he do?
Kindergarten Cop, is that what that's from?
Yeah. We do
I really enjoyed Schwarzenegger in Predator. That was my favorite. And Big
that's
Lion.
one of the greatest movies of all time, in my opinion. Just like the guys in the jungle and they don't know. And my dad hates sci-fi, and he loved that movie. But I've been watching a lot of, I don't know, there's a lot of movies I need to see. I've been watching a lot of TV shows. Has anybody watched Creature Commandos?
I have not seen it, but I've heard a lot of good things about it.
It's kind of adult oriented, so don't let any children watch it. That's all I'll say. But it's pretty good. But and I'm watching one right now called it's kind of hard to explain what it's about. It's called Interior Chinatown. It's on Hulu, and it's got one of the girls from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. in it, and like, so they're like in a TV show, but it's like, remember that movie Pleasantville, where they're like trapped in a TV show. So it's kind of like that, but all the side characters they're in a police procedural TV show like Law and Order, but they don't. All the side characters don't realize they're just side characters in a TV show. And like one guy's looking for his brother, but it happens his brother disappeared because he was a guest star on the main show, and then when they got through with him, he disappeared. They don't know what happened to him. And it's like kind of, I don't know, it's kind of, I know it sounds stupid, but it's actually pretty funny. It's pretty interesting. You just watch the trailer, and I watched the trailer. That's what made me want to watch it. I don't know. But anyway, but is there any? I don't know if there's anything else. I'm looking forward to the Superman movie. I don't know about you guys, but of course, everybody's talked about that. We talked about with Mark that one morning. What was it, like a month ago, for like 2 hours? So I don't think we
That's so hard to conceive of. Mark talking about Superman for 2 hours.
That's true. Well, I'm just glad somebody's talking about Superman. He's one of my favorite heroes. So
nice.
Some people say
I think it's interesting that everybody talks about Crypto and Metamorpho, and not so much Superman. I think I find that true. Kind of odd.
And they want to talk about Guy Gardner's haircut a lot too. So
Yeah.
And I heard some people like saying that haircut looks
It's like,
stupid.
oh, by the way, Superman's in it. You know.
Oh yeah. By the way, it's a Superman movie. But yeah, like I heard some people on like Facebook like, why do they got his hair like that? His hair looks stupid. I'm like, well, his hair kind of looks like that anyway. I don't know what you want.
Oh, so the new Superman's hairstyle is getting.
No, Guy Gardner, the Green Lantern guy. You know, he's got the bowl cut like Dorothy Hamill top hair or whatever. He looks like Jim Carrey in Dumb and Dumber.
Bowl cut.
Yeah, the bowl cut. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
classic bowl cut.
You got any? Did you finish that drawing the other day, or was it already finished? It looked cool. You got any art you can show us?
The portrait one.
Yeah.
I don't know that I really have. I did put speedos on my guy with.
Okay.
On my guy. I haven't really. I've been just doing a little bit of fishing around for projects and investing.
Okay.
Now, so. And then I just got back from the post office where I actually mailed some stuff to people who have been expecting it for like years.
That's what my mom will do a painting for somebody, like old painting, like if they want a portrait, and she will. How to explain it? She will agonize over it to the last detail. Like I can't. It's not ready. I'm like, I look at it and go, well, it looks great to me. I don't know what you could possibly do to it. It goes, no, I need to do this and that, and I guess it's where I'm not. I didn't really get the artistic gene from her. I guess, unfortunately, I can draw a good stick figure, but that's about it. And
sometimes when you're working on a creative project, it's hard to say it's done. I need to move on to something else. It's especially if you're really invested in it. I mean, what you're doing, it's you want it to be as good as you can get it.
You want perfection.
Yeah. Sometimes.
If I had an ornament, I would show you. My mom paints like the globe ornaments for people and hand paints them. And I keep telling her, and I'll ask you guys what you think. She'll hand paint people's children's faces on an ornament, or their dog, or their house. And it's like you're doing like little details. And she'll only charge them like $40 or $30 or $40 for it. I'm like, wow, you're selling yourself short. But I would charge at least $60, but that's just me. I'm kind of ruthless. So
I think I don't know what the market is, or it depends on the demographic of what's going on too, and everyone's situation is different.
Well, we live in a small town, so it's probably best to give them a little bit of a discount. But like, I don't know. It's, to me, it's like you're putting your hard-earned effort into it. Yeah. So I blocked that guy.
How long does it take her to do an ornament?
If it's a real detailed one, it could take 2 days. Sometimes she can get them out. It's like just and I get, Madam, you probably can relate as an artist. It's easier to draw like landscapes and buildings and stuff than it is to draw people or paint on something, I think. And so it's just a little bit more to take. Like, it's probably easier to do a dog if you know how to do it, I guess. That's what she told me. But if I could show you some of her art, I would, but I can't. I don't know where she's at, or I'd get her to. But she does a lot of painting and stuff. I'm trying to get her to do some comic book covers.
That's awesome.
Around here, but I don't have anything around here.
Yeah, if it takes 2 days, that's a lot of hours, for sure. If she could, you could look into selling it on the internet,
Yeah, she had a account on Big Cartel, but she couldn't get any traction on there because they wanted you to pay for them, and I guess to promote it. They really don't promote it if you don't pay them. But I told her to try Etsy or something like that, but I don't know. She's kind of old school. I've been trying to get her to make her own YouTube channel, and
or farmers markets. It would be a great, especially around the holidays, in fall. People could pre-order them.
Let me see if I can. All right.
Local flea markets is another.
Yeah.
I think she's.
And then she could charge more, too. I'm sure.
That's true. Well, I'm trying. Maybe I can get her help her out. Start selling stuff. She's going to donate something to college curing cancer next year. She said. That's awful nice of her.
That's awesome.
Oh, here she is. Let me see if I can hear it. Yeah. And she goes, I got ones better than that one.
She's just like, I'm going to get my best ones on. I didn't know I was showing these off.
I like this one. It's kind of rustic, like old school.
It's an
yeah,
Appalachian. It's
That's
an Appalachian.
beautiful. It's a real impressionist rooster there. That's beautiful.
Well, the background is more impressionist and the rooster is more realistic. They do cockfighting in this area. And I don't know how many men have tried to buy that just for that reason.
I don't condone that sort of thing, so they can't have it. All right.
Beautiful.
Yeah, we do. It's illegal, but they do it. I've seen. I don't get into stuff like that, but yeah, we got some rednecks around here. Okay.
No.
Now I've created a monster. She's gonna want to show everything now.
No,
All right.
since she mentioned
Cool.
impressionism, this is more impressionistic.
Oh, I love it.
That's nice.
Thank you. I've painted that for a lot of different couples. I just let them walk away from me. I take their picture and I put them in the picture.
Oh, how
Yeah.
sweet.
Cool.
Thank you.
Very charming.
She's kind of like the old school kind of. She's done it for her whole life, so she started out, and then I've kind of got her into comic book art. She likes Peach Momoko. I think it's her favorite.
Really? Oh, okay.
And but Mom said she likes it because it's like the Chinese kind of watercolor style she does. And,
What, David Mack?
Yeah.
See, I like realism too.
Yeah,
She's as real as it gets.
Nice.
still alive. Still life. I mean,
Beautiful.
still life.
Yeah, it's a still life. It's
I said still life though.
it's items that I found in my house, and the object was to create also interesting negative spaces in the picture.
Mhm.
That's a solid sketch, if you ask me.
Oh yes. Well,
Yes.
it's
Acrylic.
monochromatic. It's painted in blue.
Yeah.
Okay, nice.
Thank you. Who am I speaking with?
Oh, it's Madam. She's one of our friends on here.
Okay.
She's an artist.
Okay. Tell her I said hi.
Said hello.
I do sculptures though. I can't paint as well as you do.
Oh, okay. Still an artist. That still counts.
Well, I've got to zip off. Carm's
Okay.
got the night shift, so I'm
What is Madam's style?
She's
But-
got some sculpts.
Thanks again for having me, Matt. Enjoy the
Okay.
rest.
Okay.
Yep.
See you, Glenn.
Enjoy the rest of the day.
All right. We're going to wrap. There's a kitty cat.
It's Peaches.
My cat made a date. Was on here a minute ago. I call him. His name's Tommy. We call him Thomas Magnum, or I do. Mom don't like when I call him that, but I was a big fan of Magnum PI when I was a kid. So
Oh, yeah, that was
That was a great show.
yeah, I love that show. Tom Selleck, good cat, good actor.
Yeah,
But,
I really believe that show desensitized me to chest hair.
that and Burt Reynolds too, right?
I know, right?
Sean Connery too. But they kind of made it like cool,
I mean, they don't give a basically.
No, back then they didn't care.
They're
This
just
is-
prancing around like it's the hottest thing ever. So
This is me. You accept it or don't. It was a different time period. We had the mullets and the bell bottoms, and I kind of mixed it up my decades there, but I don't know. But we used to make fun of I remember we used to make fun of the bell bottoms and everything when I was growing up as a teenager.
And then they came back into style later.
Yeah, but then I look back at some of the stuff we wore in the '90s. I'm like, oh my god, like some of the colors, these weird designs on the shirts. It looked like a maze, or like the Guess jeans, and what else did we? I don't know. Do you remember the Jinko jeans the skateboarder guys used to wear? They're basically like bell bottoms too. You couldn't even see their shoes.
Oh, because it was hanging around their ankles, so that their underwear. I understand.
And we'd go to the Goodwill and get like flannel shirts, and we thought we all thought, me and my friends all thought we were Eddie Vedder, So
everybody wanted Eddie Vedder.
Yeah, that's true. I still want to be Eddie Vedder.
Half the fun of watching old shows from like the 1970s and stuff is just looking at the clothes that they were wearing.
Oh yeah.
The men in the like the plaid suits and
the plaid suits. Oh my god!
Every once in a while, you're just like, most of the time it's just kind of fits, but so every once in a while, you're like, oh my god, what is that guy wearing?
Or the leisure suit with the big collar on the jacket, yeah. And a lot of velour, maybe too much velour, right?
Yeah.
And God, what else was some stuff you see? Or like you see the guy in the onesie jumpsuit like Elvis would wear.
Yeah, I remember Liberace being very popular with my parents' record.
Yeah.
Record collection, and seeing like his blinged out.
But they didn't know he was gay.
Oh no.
Like, oh yeah, it was Liberace, man. He probably had to beat the ladies off of a stick. Yeah. He probably did beat them off a stick. Get away from me. Ooh.
Have you ever seen the clip of the Lawrence Welk show where they're singing One Toke Over the Line?
No, I have not.
They don't know what it is. They think it's like a
okay, no, it's what it was about.
Lawrence Welk actually introduces it as a modern day spiritual song because they didn't realize what it was about.
What did they think it was about? Modern day spiritual. Here we go. One toke over the line. Oh, because he says sweet, right? Yeah. Oh my God. Talk about being out of touch, right?
Yeah.
So, you'd see like who was it did like the song like you would see they do covers of songs like Light My Fire by the Doors. I can't remember who it was, but he did like a Jose Feliciano or somebody. He did like a version of the Doors song, and I'm like, that's like a counterculture song. He's singing it like it's a like a crooner or something. But they used to have that with there was a skit on Saturday Night Live with Eddie Murphy and Joe Piscopo. I don't know if you remember it. And like Piscopo was Sinatra, and Eddie Murphy was Stevie Wonder. And so they go in there, and he's like, I'm doing this thing. Frank's like, I'm doing this new album, Stevie. It's called Frank Does Tunes for the Kids. He says, so you know that song you got, Ebony and Ivory? He's like, yes, it's about the key, the black and white keys on the piano. Frank, he goes, oh, I know, but when I think of Ebony, I think of a magazine that nobody reads, and when I think of Ivory, I think of a soap that floats. He says, what if we made it like this? I am black, you're black, I am white. Life's an Eskimo pie. Why don't we take a bite? Then he says, what's the next line? He goes, you're blind as a bat, and I have sight. Oh no, I love Eddie Murphy though. I wanted to be Eddie Murphy. He made me want to be a stand-up comedian, but I'm not good. I'm one of those people that tell a joke and I screw the punchline up or something, or like I'll mess the timing up, or like
the delivery.
I'll try to. It's all about the delivery. It's talking about the ugly suits too. I remember in the 70s they used to wear the suits like the Rodney Dangerfield always wore those ugly, loud-looking like suits when he was like Caddyshack, stuff like that. Yeah, crazy stuff.
Yeah.
But I guess it looked cool back then, though, right? I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it the style?
I wish they'd bring back like the 1700s, like like when men had to wear like powdered wigs and leggings.
Oh yes, and they had the little like
pantaloons,
stockings on, the pantaloons on, and
fluffy scarves,
ruffled collars and stuff, or the puffy shirt like Jerry Seinfeld. Yeah,
they looked uncomfortable. I say, bring that shit back.
Exactly.
Let's you guys remember how uncomfortable it could be.
I don't know. I can't imagine have to wear a powdered wig. That just seems so weird. And what's funny, now they like all these guys. They're all effeminate and they dress like this and that. I said, "Have you seen what George Washington's guys dress like? For God's sakes!" They look like they were like the backup band for David Bowie or Prince or something. What's that? He said that Charlie Murphy, Eddie Murphy's brother, on the Chappelle Show, and he's like talking about meeting Prince, and he said he comes out wearing these women's clothes. He goes, he says, I told him they were wearing if we were playing basketball, it'd be like shirts against the blouses. And he looked at me all mad. He said, I don't know why you're looking at me all mad. We know where you got that shirt at. It definitely wasn't in the men's department. But yeah, well, you remember that too, like the 80s rock bands. I'll tell you a funny story about that. There was the album cover for the Poison album called Look What the Cat Dragged In. They're all glammed out with their hair teased up and got all this makeup and lipstick on. And my cousin Lorley had the album. And our other cousin, like, he came over and he was like older than us a little bit. And he was a little bit older than us, and he saw the tape. It was like a cassette tape. He's like, "Who are those chicks, man? They're hot as hell." We're like, bro, those are dudes. He's like, "What?" And he was like, you could see the look on his face, like he was questioning his whole existence.
But in his defense, the 80s was really the point at which men and women, the bigger the hair,
yes,
was the same. The bigger the shoulder pads was the same, right? The bigger the makeup was the same. The bigger tease out. I mean, it easily mistake.
Yeah, it was. It was an honest mistake.
Boys were going through a feminine period, I felt.
But it didn't stop us from giving them a hard time about it because we did.
Oh, I'm sure.
But it was like the whole androgynous thing. But that goes back a long way. David Bowie used to do that too. So
yeah,
I don't know. People get bent out of shape about that now, but I'm like, I guess y'all forgot the 80s. I guess I don't know.
All right, you guys want to take off? I got some cooking and cleaning to do. But
thanks
for letting me stop by so much.
Well, let's get ready. I'm getting ready to wrap it up anyway. So I'm glad you stopped by.
Okay.
Yeah, Jim's show's starting just about now, I think. So
yeah, one of our friends starting a claim sale, so we'll go check him out.
Okay, cool. It was nice to be on with you guys. Cheap Comic Collector. Nice to see you.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. All right. Bye.
Well, everybody, I guess that's the end of it. Robert, sir, thank you for coming on.
Absolutely. I'm glad I had the time to do it.
Oh, I do have one thing to say. If anybody's here, while we got a captive audience, I do have something to. If I can get it to, I have to add it. I have a show coming up on Tuesday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. I'll be interviewing a friend of mine. So I can get it to come up here. It'll be episode 10 of Comic Conversations. I had to add it. I should have added it already. And I will be interviewing Couple Comics.
Oh, nice.
So please check that out. And we'll have some more come up. Cheap Comic Collector has been a guest. And I'll have a claim sale again soon. I just don't know when I'm going to have it. But, just stay tuned for that. And I have a show Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern. And you can check me out. I'm kind of one of those guys that just jumps on every stream that my friends have. So, and Robert, claim sale tomorrow, 12:45 p.m. Right?
Yeah.
All right.
My days are all running together. Yes, it is tomorrow.
Yeah, mine are already run together too. But I watch your videos every day because if you pay attention to his YouTube channel, he will preview the comics for the upcoming sale all week. So, see, I already did the promo for you. There you go. No problem. All right.
Appreciate it.
Well,
thanks.
No problem. Anytime. Everybody take care. If you're anywhere near all these snowstorms, please don't go out or drive if you don't have to. Stay warm. And if you're on the West Coast in Southern California, please be careful. And we're praying for you. But until next time, Excelsior. And we'll just play us out.
And all the girlies say I'm pretty fly for a white girl.
I'm probably going to get